Maya didn't want cats. That part matters. Maya wasn't lonely in the way people imagine when they hear a story like this, the soft, quiet loneliness that makes you go looking for something warm. Her loneliness was harder than that, sharper around the edges, the kind that makes you shorter with people, slower to answer texts, more likely to stand in the kitchen at 11 at night eating crackers over the sink because sitting at the table feels like too much. Maya had been divorced for 4 months. She was not doing well. She knew she was not doing well. Knowing didn't help. The night it happened, Maya had gone to bed at 10 with the specific intention of finally sleeping through until morning. She was almost there when she heard it. Her neighbor's voice through the window, loud and jagged in the way voices get when someone has run out of patience with something they were never very patient with to begin with. She pulled on a jacket and went outside. Her neighbor, a woman Maya had spoken to maybe 6 times in 2 years, was standing on the front step. On the walkway below her, 2 cats, one orange, enormous, blinking slowly in the porch light, one gray, smaller, pressed against the orange's side. Her neighbor had her arms crossed. She was saying something about being done, about it not being worth it anymore, about the smell and the fur, and she had a life, she had things to do. "You can't just put them outside," Maya said. Her neighbor looked at her. "Watch me. It's 40 degrees. Then take them. I don't want cats. Neither do I anymore." The door closed, not quietly. Maya stood on the walkway in her jacket and looked at the 2 cats. The orange one looked at her with the untroubled expression of someone who had learned not to take these situations personally. The gray one was still sitting on the windowsill with the composed stillness of something that had been cold for a long time and learned to prefer it. "Ice," Maya said. She fed them, she cleaned the litter box, she replaced the harnesses when Tiger chewed through one of the straps. Maya did not talk to them much, she did not pick them up. She was not unkind, she just wasn't present, not really, not in the way that counts. Maya was still eating crackers over the sink, still not answering texts, still waking up at 3 in the morning with that specific feeling of a life that had been rearranged into a shape she didn't recognize. I see you're still here and haven't subscribed yet. That actually means something to me. Hit subscribe. You'll want to know how this ends. It was a Tuesday in March when Maya noticed. Tiger was on the couch, which was normal, but he was lying flat in a way that wasn't, stretched out on his side, not curled, not arranged with his usual sense of personal dignity. He lifted his head when Maya came in, then put it back down. Ice was on the floor beside the couch. Not on the couch tree, not on the windowsill, on the floor, tucked small, and when she came close, he didn't move toward her the way he usually did. Maya stood there for a moment. Then she crouched down and put her hand on Tiger first. He was warm in the wrong way. She checked Ice. Same. Maya doesn't talk about the next part very much. What she says is that she picked them both up and put them in the carrier and drove to the emergency vet at 7 in the morning and sat in a plastic chair in the waiting room for 2 hours with the carrier on her lap and her hand pressed against the mesh door the entire time. What she doesn't say, but what was true, was that sitting in that plastic chair, Maya understood something she hadn't let herself understand before. That at some point in the previous months, she couldn't have said when, these 2 animals had become the thing she came home to. Not a responsibility, not a habit, the thing she came home to. Maya hadn't noticed until she was afraid of losing it. It was a respiratory infection. Both of them probably passed from one to the other, the way these things go when 2 animals share every surface in a small apartment. The vet gave Maya antibiotics, 2 separate syringes, instructions delivered with the patient clarity of someone who had explained this many times to many frightened people. She drove home with the carrier in the passenger seat and her hand resting on top of it. That night, Maya sat on the floor between them while they slept. She didn't do anything, she just sat there. The antibiotics worked. They always do when you catch it. By the end of the week, Tiger was himself again, loud, orange, thoroughly convinced the kitchen counter was a public space. By the end of the week, Ice had returned to the windowsill and his policy of watchful silence. By the end of that month, something else had shifted. Maya started answering texts. Not all of them, not right away, but some. She started cooking actual meals again, at the table, with the lights on. She started sleeping through the night. Not every night, but most nights, which felt like a miracle after months of 3 a.m. ceilings. She got a therapist. She called her sister. She went to a birthday dinner for a friend she had been avoiding since the divorce and stayed for 3 hours and drove home wanting, for the first time in a long time, to be where she was going. Now, a year after a neighbor threw 2 cats into the cold and closed a door, Maya comes home every evening and drops her bag, and a few minutes later, there are 12 pounds of orange Maine Coon pressed against her chest and 8 pounds of gray Maine Coon settled on her stomach, and neither of them will accept any other arrangement. Tiger claims the chest, Ice claims the stomach. Maya doesn't know when they decided this. She suspects they decided it before she had any say in the matter. The rest of the apartment remains, in the most affectionate sense, negotiable. Tiger has knocked exactly 1 full glass of orange juice, 2 coffee mugs, and a houseplant off various surfaces in the past year. He watches each one fall with the calm curiosity of a scientist observing expected results. Ice has claimed the bathroom sink as a sleeping location, which Maya discovered at 6 in the morning when she turned on the tap. He did not move. He simply looked at her. She started using the kitchen sink to brush her teeth. These are not inconveniences anymore. They are, somehow, the texture of a life that feels like hers again. Maya still has the harnesses. She still takes them out in the evenings sometimes, still follows them around the perimeter of the building while they conduct their professional assessments. Tiger leads. He always leads, moving with the broad, unhurried confidence of someone who has never once considered that the world might not cooperate. Ice follows at a precise distance, pausing at corners, checking back over his shoulder exactly once before proceeding. Maya follows both of them. She has stopped trying to direct where they go. On the evenings she boils chicken, Tiger sits directly beneath the cutting board and waits with the focused patience of someone who invented patience. Ice sits in the doorway and pretends he is there for unrelated reasons. She divides it evenly. Tiger finishes his in 30 seconds and then looks at Ice's portion with open interest. Ice eats slowly, deliberately, without breaking eye contact with Tiger. He has never once shared. There is a particular moment that happens now, most evenings, that Maya has never described to anyone. She sits on the couch after dinner, and within a few minutes they are both there. Tiger heavy and warm against her chest, Ice settled and still on her stomach, and the apartment goes quiet in a way it never did before. Not empty quiet, full quiet, the kind that means something is exactly where it belongs. She never did go back to crackers over the sink. If you've ever had an animal find you when you weren't looking for one, drop their name in the comments. Do you think Maya saved them, or do you think they were always going to save her?